Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we will discuss in the topic important determinants of demand. Now the first determinant is price of a commodity. Now this is an important topic of class 12, those who are appearing for the ISC examination economics. So if you listen carefully to this topic, this type of question comes in every alternative years, or we can tell every years also, because from this demand chapter maximum of the question come from here, maximum weightage is from this demand chapter. So we should everyone should listen carefully to this. So first is the price of a commodity. What is this price of a commodity? There is an inverse relationship between the price of a commodity and quantity demanded. That means lower the price, higher will be the quantity demanded, and vice versa. So this demand is also called the price demand. That means when the price of a commodity falls, the quantity demanded rises, and when the price of a commodity rises, the quantity demanded false. Next determinant is income of the consumer. There is a direct relationship between income of the consumer and demand for the product. This is a general case. Okay, there is a direct relationship between the income of the consumer and demand for the product. That means as the income of the consumer increases, the demand for the product is also increases. But it will not be same in all types of good. So therefore we may distinguish between three types of goods. And so let us discuss with the first type of good. First type of good is the normal good. What is this normal good? Here demand increases with increase in income and vice versa. That means here in the case of the normal good, the demand will increase with the increase in income and decrease with the decrease in income. So there will be a positive relationship between income of the consumer and demand for the commodity. So the diagram, so this is the normal good curve, so it will be upward rising as there is a positive relationship. Now next we move on to the next type of good. So next is the inferior good. In the case of the inferior good, what we can see, that here the demand falls with the increase in income and increase with the fall in the income. That means when the increase in income and the demand increases with the fall in the income. So what we can tell, there is an inverse relationship between this inferior good and income of the consumer. Now inferior goods are what? Such as jowar, bajra, maize, these are the inferior good. And what are the superior good? Rice, wheat, these are the superior good. Examples. Okay, next type of good is what? Next type of good is inexpensive necessities. What are these inexpensive necessities? Here, for example, we have taken that salt and matchbox. Salt and matchbox, they are necessities for us, but they are inexpensive. So in this case, what will happen? The quantity purchased will increase with the increase in income, but it will increase up to certain level, and then it will remain constant irrespective of the level of the income. That means even if the income increases or decreases, the demand for these inexpensive necessities will remain same. Now let us look in this diagram of these inexpensive necessities. When we are measuring the income on the y-axis and quantity demanded on the x-axis, this is the graph of the inexpensive necessities. This is a demand graph of the inexpensive necessities. What we can see, that irrespective of the increase in income, your quantity demanded is remaining fixed. Means up to to certain level, this demand will increase. After that, it will remain constant. It will not increase with the increase in income. It will remain constant. Whatever be your income, but your quantity demanded of these inexpensive necessities will remain constant. Next diagram you see in the case of an inferior good. Now on the y-axis we measure the income, and on the x-axis we measure the quantity demanded. And what we have told that in the case of inferior good, there is an inverse relationship between income and quantity demanded. That means what? As the income increases, your quantity demanded for the inferior good will decrease, and as your income decrease, your demand for the quantity demanded for this inferior good will increase. That is why there is an inverse relationship between income of the consumer and quantity demanded of the inferior good. So the functional relationship between demand for a commodity and the level of income is called the income demand. Now let's move on to the next determinant. Now let us discuss with this price of the related good. First good is what? First good here is the substitute good. Substitute good is what? Substitute good means one good can be used in place of another to satisfy the want. Now here the substitute good is given as tea and coffee. Tea and coffee means instead of coffee you can drink tea, or instead of tea you can drink coffee. So coffee and tea both are the substitute good. So in this case what we can see that there is a positive relationship between price of good X and demand for good Y. Here price of good X means here price of coffee and demand for tea. That means was as the price of coffee increases, the demand for tea will increase, and as the price of coffee decreases, the demand for tea will decrease. Okay, see, as the price of coffee increases, the demand for tea will increase. Price falls, the demand for tea will also fall. Now in the case of complementary good, what is complementary good? That means the good can be used together at a time. They are jointly consumed. For example, here price of petrol and demand for cars. That means petrol and car, these are the two complementary goods. One is used in with these two goods are jointly used. That means what? If the price of the petrol rises, then the demand for car will fall, and as the price of the petrol falls, the demand for the cars will increase. As because this petrol and car both are the complementary goods, that means they are jointly consumed. Without the petrol, car cannot run, because car runs with the help of the petrol. Okay, that means they are jointly consumed. You can take another example also, pen and ink, they are jointly consumed. Okay, so this much for the today's class. We will continue with some more important topic in the next class. So those who haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe it, because every day I make sure to upload important videos for you all, so that you never miss the video, never miss any of the videos which are very, very important to you all the students. So keep watching this channel. Thank you.